All right, so I was going to just do a quick little vid here on the different types of Subaru timing belt tensioners between the old school and the new school ones, um, and also how you can convert your engine between the two if you would rather swap back and retrofit to the old style or use the newer one. All you have to do is replace this bracket here, and this does come off. It's not part of the block or anything. Um, and this here is a 94 legacy engine and uses this old school style tensioner. But I'm going to show you how to adapt it to this newer style if you wanted to do that. So first, just remove the cam gear. And next, just take these three 12 millimeter bolts out right here. And that's all it takes to get this bracket off of here. This is also something that's a lot handier to do if you end up stripping out any of these mounting bolts here. That's fairly common. In fact, this bolt here where the pulley would go, I can see someone's already drilled it out and put a helicoil in there to fix it. But it's much easier to do if you just remove this bracket. Looks like someone may have helicoiled that one as well. I've pulled plenty of engines apart and found evidence of where you could tell somebody has drilled these and tapped them with it on the engine. I don't know why you would do that to yourself unless you didn't know this came off and assumed it was part of the block, but that's removable. So if you wanted to swap to this style, you can easily mount that right up. These are totally interchangeable. Doesn't matter if you've got a 1990 engine and an engine block and found one of these off of a 2015 car. As long as it's an EJ engine, they all bolt up the same. And you could then mount up this newer style tensioner if you for some reason wanted to do that. Personally, I don't like this newer style tensioner as much as the old one. I have seen far more instances of these spring-loaded, or I don't know if it's spring-loaded or hydraulic, but this rod that holds tension on the belt. I've seen these ones fail far more often than this type. Also, typically when you buy a new timing belt kit, it will not come with a new one of these. You just recompress this little piston down in here and reuse it. And to me, that's kind of a testament of how reliable and long-lasting these are. Done plenty of cars that have 200,000 plus miles on them, and what I can only assume is the original tensioner, and they still work just fine. Where this one, you end up replacing the whole tensioner assembly along with the pulley. And yeah, and I've seen these things fail on cars with not even 100,000 miles on them. And this thing goes out, and then this slaps around inside of here and has a lot of slack on the belt. And it can almost sound like maybe you have a rod knock or something else much more serious going on when this thing is bouncing around in here like that. But I would definitely check this tensioner first before you jump to the assumption that it's something like a rod knock or something worse. But anyways, yeah, that's just kind of my quick little thoughts on these tensioners and which one is best. Personally, if you can find these older brackets, I would retrofit it to the older style instead of this newer style. I don't think you can buy these as like a replacement part very easily. You probably have to go to a wrecking yard and pull one off of an old car. And these do come in both. This is the single overhead cam style right here. And this one here is for the dual overhead cam engine. If this is out of the way, this little tab here would actually end up in between the two cam gears on a dual overhead cam engine. And it's where you would bolt part of the plastic timing cover that would go right here. So even if you've got a newer WRX or something that's dual overhead cam, you can find these type of tensioner brackets in like I believe it's 96 through 98. Outbacks, Impreza, RSs, anything with a 2.5 liter from the mid 90s should have this style bracket. Yeah, so that's about it. My thoughts on the tensioners and what type I prefer using. So yeah, hopefully that's been helpful.